Hey Michael, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing? Beautiful. And just like I mentioned earlier, thank you so very much for being here. And you say, oftentimes, Michael, I love to make reference to these things. But firstly, I want to thank you for two things. And these things I thank my guest for oftentimes. So, firstly, Michael, I want to thank you for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, Michael, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. I just walked past it. But you see, Michael, just recently, I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me. Because now, the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves, and healthy branches. It was a very, very special moment for me that day, Marco. I was so excited. You see, here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing person that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. You see, that's why you got the request from me to be on the show, because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, the impact your work is having, your knowledge, the insight. It's amazing. And I said to myself, I've got to benefit from all of these amazing stuffs Michael is doing, not only me now, but even my audience. And here you are today. So thank you so very much for investing in yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing I could do about it. Thank you. Awesome. So let's get started. I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Michael, I believe it takes the application of knowledge. And not just knowledge, but the application of it. And you see, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very, very, very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Michael on the show is for the sake of the listeners. You see, Michael, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, high opening, and very important information, of which I'm totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Michael, let's get started with your introduction. Yeah, tell us about your personal or professional journey. We are just so curious right now. We want to know how Michael got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Michael, over to you.
So plenty of opportunity there. We grew that over the next 13 years into a multi-million-dollar creative agency. It wasn't until about end of 2018, I realized that I basically owned a job, and I was completely burnt out from running a creative agency. It's a lot of hard work. It's a big grind year in, year out, lots of competition. And so I decided to close the door on a 13,000 square foot facility until the 24 employees that, you know what, we're going to change how we're doing business. And this is what it looks like. And if you're in for the ride, then, stay on. If you're not, I get it. And we hope you the best, and we'll make sure you get pointed in the right direction. And so now 6 years later, we are 9 deep, and we're working with B2B service-based businesses, primarily those between $1 and $10 million, basically businesses serving businesses. And I find that my calling is to help. As a business owner, you create jobs. And in America, we are, our middle class is the strength of our economy. And the strength of economy is the strength of the job market. And over 87% of all new jobs created are created by small to medium-sized businesses. So with me working with other businesses who serve businesses, every time I help grow their business, they have then been growing other businesses. So for every one job that I create directly with my clients, I'm technically helping create an extended amount of jobs, 3-4 jobs, maybe 5 jobs, depending on the type of company. So through that, I am paying back the country who's given me the opportunity to be a successful business person by helping other business owners create jobs and helping them help other people create more jobs. So that's the exponential giving that our service gives.
That's amazing, Michael. And you just made use of one of my favorite words, help. Because just like I was saying with someone on the show before now, when you help someone with the solution you have, you are a very, very great asset to this planet. And I found people like you very interesting because you've got some incredible insight and tactics on how to cause change to occur. And that's amazing. And I must say you're doing an amazing job. So the first question, let us talk about the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make with digital marketing. Can you tell us about that?
So the biggest mistake in digital marketing that B2B service providers make is starting to advertise too soon. They want to do what is called scaling before they've done growing. So what I mean by that is that when we're starting out our business, anything between a $0 and $1 million, we're in a growth mode. And really, we're trying to find what is called product market fit, making sure that we're fixing the one clear, urgent struggle that their target market is having. And until you understand exactly who those people are, what they're thinking, why they buy, and really are buying from you, buying over and over again, and then referring their colleagues to buy from you as well, you really don't have that product market fit. And without that, you don't have the positioning that is required to do a lot of the paid advertising. Now, with that said, there are things that are inbound, like content marketing, stuff like that are considered in the realm of digital marketing. But a lot of people think about social media ads, Google ads, programmatic, and other types of digitally displayed ads. And that's where the outbound. So if we look at marketing is the magnet that brings people in, right? Whether it be your content, your messaging, and stuff like that. Advertising is a bullhorn. It pushes the message out. Okay. So in marketing, we're always looking kind of in the inbound space. What is drawing to? Once we understand what people are drawn to, then we can amplify that in advertising. But until we have a good understanding of that, we're really just creating a very expensive test of messaging using advertising prematurely. And that sucks up a lot of money. And if you're below $1 million, money is king. Cash flow, king, right? I mean, we hear that all over time. It's like you got to keep that cash flow, stay out of debt. If you can stay out of debt under $1 million and keep your cash flow high, you're going to be really well positioned once you do hit $1 million in revenue to then leap into the $2, $3, and $4 million realm, because you'll have the cash flow, you'll have the bandwidth, and you'll have proof of concept with your product market fit, your messaging, your positioning. So I always tell people, take it slow. Don't be afraid to be out there talking about your services. Don't be afraid to get on shows like yours and spread the word of the services that you provide. And don't be afraid to talk to people. I think that a lot of newer entrepreneurs, younger entrepreneurs, are so used to the digital age. You know, some say that they were born with a phone in their hand type of thing, that they forget that making phone calls and getting on face-to-face meetings with other people is a lot more impactful than recording a catchy social media video that you're hoping to go viral.
So true. What I understood from what you just explained now is entrepreneurs need to study the need of the people, and they create a solution around it, and not just going about talking about a product and not even understanding what the people needs. Okay, I got that. So which is better for website traffic, social media or SEO?
Any traffic that is qualified traffic is good traffic, regardless of where it comes from. So if your social media traffic's coming to your website and filling out a form or downloading something, they trade information for their personal information, and you're able to then nurture them into a conversation about what you do and what you have to offer, and then those conversations turn into business, it's good traffic. Conversely, you could have people doing searches on Google or clicking on your videos on social. They go to your website and they don't download anything, or maybe they do download or schedule a meeting with you and then don't buy from you. That's what we call bad traffic, right? So it's really about the quality of the traffic versus the source of the traffic. So it's really important for you to use your marketing message in places where you're able to position yourself in front of the right type of people that then you can get to take action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. So you see, I've been, seeking enlightenment on this next question. So, what is the best social media platform for business marketing?
Good question. Good question. For B2B, hands down, I feel that LinkedIn is the best. And a lot of people will argue with me that nobody's on LinkedIn. But the people who are movers and shakers in the B2B, business to business market are. And it's not just job seekers anymore. Like back in the day, it was a great place to network, to find a new job, and you can still do that there. But really in the B2B space, businesses serving businesses and networking, and not necessarily selling to an end user, though that does happen. It's the networking with referral partners and just creating a better network. You can't find a better place to really get honed in on who you're talking to. So we help some of our clients in what we call account-based marketing, where we help them filter out or filter down to the types of businesses they want to be talking to and the types of people within those businesses they want to be talking to. We automate the outreach so that they can get more high-quality conversations started in less of their time, so that they can spend more time in the conversations than the time it takes to get connected, right? And from there, those conversations can go into sales, they can go into networking, they can go into promotion, JVs, like joint ventures, those types of things. So all of that said, the content that you put on LinkedIn is more powerful because people are in a business mindset when they're consuming that content, right? So if you are a business serving businesses, then you want that are serving other businesses, so B2B marketing, then LinkedIn is your people. This is where you can shine in a smaller stage, technically, compared to, say, Meta, like Facebook or Instagram. But there's a lot less noise. There's a lot less politics. There's a lot less kittens and trees and stuff like that doesn't matter to your business, right? You don't have the gitchy videos, blocking up your feed. Like if I want that, I go over to Instagram, and that's where I take my mental break. But if I want to go and connect with other business people, guess what? I'm going to LinkedIn.
Wow, that's very insightful, and thank you for sharing that. Okay, so how does search engine optimization, how does it work?
How does it work? Well, that's a big question. So search engine optimization is merely you paying attention to the types of topics that you're already talking about that then relate to the types of questions your target market is already asking. And it used to be where we worried about specific keywords and all these other things. And a lot of that still is important, but more importantly now is what is called EEAT. And this is an acronym that Google came out with about a couple years ago. And it stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So can you, through your content on your website, in a blog, on podcast, wherever the search engine is scraping for more information, can you can you show that you have expertise? Can you lend your experience? Are you an authority on the topic you're talking about? And do people trust you? Now, there's a lot of things that go into creating EAT, but what I tell folks who are just getting into SEO is that if you can just be authentic to what you're good at and talk on the topics that are closely related to what you do. So I'm a marketer, right? But I'm specifically a B2B marketer. So I work with businesses who serve businesses. So that's a segment of type of marketing. So if I'm always talking about B2B marketing, I now show my expertise, my experience, because it's what I do best. The things that I say convey authority, and because people click on and consume and share my stuff, I have trustworthiness. So that's the simplest way to explain how SEO works. If somebody wants to get into more of what that looks like, they can check out one of my websites called Dizyo.biz. That's DIZYO.biz.
Amazing. And thank you for explaining it that way. You made it quite easy to understand. So to bring this to an end, Michael, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about everything we've discussed, or even ask questions, how can that be possible?
Sure. The final thought is that we need to keep it simple. I think that people are trying to make things overcomplicated because they feel like AI is going to replace, the marketer, the expert, and whatnot. And one of the things that I am telling people is that, listen, knowledge has been commoditized through AI. Experience and expertise has not. Wisdom comes from knowledge meeting experience. And the wisdom is what consultants will be paid for eons moving forward. Until the robots can out-experience us as human beings, which is impossible, then, well, I shouldn't say impossible, but within our time and in our lifetime, they're not going to have a lived experience like we do. They can simulate it, but they can't have it. And from that intuition comes great marketing, because people buy from people. If you want to learn more about website marketing and how you can simplify it down to 3 steps and double your revenue, please visit my website, ruleof26.com. All of your listeners will get a free copy, a signed copy. All they have to do is pay for shipping and handling. If you want to learn more about what I do with B2B businesses, you can check out buzzworthy.biz.
Amazing. So that's going to be the end of the show, Michael. Thank you for coming. And thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, man. Thank you.
No worries.